Boogie recently announcing that he's basically broke shouldn't be a surprise to anyone, as if you follow all of his incredibly poor choices made over the last 4 and a bit years, you'll understand that bankruptcy was almost unavoidable. So let's begin by looking at October 2018, in which Boogie's main source of income, his YouTube channel, slowly began to die. Up until this point, Boogie had established a reputation as an overweight yet friendly nerdy gamer, who people considered charming since he was totally fine with each of his flaws. When he wasn't playing his fat Francis character, Boogie was telling wholesome stories about his personal life, with one of the more notable ones being a video titled "What It's Like to Be Broke." In this video, Boogie explained that he had grown up in a fairly poor environment.
So they had decent income, it's just they didn't like to spend it on us kids, at least on me.
And that as a result of that, he was now much wiser with his income.
Now, you know what I do with my money? Every single dime, every single penny goes into the bank, because I don't ever want to live that way again.
Which felt both inspiring and relatable, especially since Boogie highlighted that he now only spent money on things that would improve his videos.
I used every dime to buy better computer equipment, to get better. And after just a year and a half, I was able to go off because I started earning my YouTube income.
This desire to improve the content unsurprisingly resulted in better uploads, and by early 2014, Boogie passed 1 million subscribers before uploading a new video simply titled "How Much Money Does Boogie2988 Make?", which felt like yet another wholesome yet modest upload, which had clearly been made with the goal of helping his audience.
I want to make sure you have the tools in mind so that you fully understand how much income we already have coming in and make an educated decision of whether or not you ever want to participate in that kind of thing.
Boogie went on to politely imply that he was making over $100,000 per year from YouTube, which didn't include third-party income like Patreon.
So let's take, for example, a YouTube channel similar to mine that's bringing in 10 million views per month. If a YouTube channel is bringing in 10 million views per month, divide that by 1,000, you've got 10,000, multiply that by $1, and you'll have a really good idea of how much ad revenue that channel is bringing in.
And that if you counted his YouTube channel as an asset, he himself was worth more than $1 million.
Boogie, are you a millionaire? Well, it depends on how you calculate millionaire. If you include my YouTube channel as it is, yes. After 3 more years, I'll have earned by then $1 million total in YouTube ad revenue.
This was followed by Boogie reassuring his audience that all of the money was being used wisely.
The majority of the money we make goes into the bank. We do not live very large by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, obviously, I'm large, but we do not spend a grotesque amount of money.
Which led to more positive comments such as, "Wild guess, but he's very rich now. He deserves it. He's one of the only YouTubers that didn't let the money and fame get to his head. He's still just as humble and cool as when he started. I admire that. Amazing video, Boogie. You're one of the realest, most transparent YouTubers out there, and please know that your fans appreciate it." I clicked on this video randomly and I stayed to watch, and to be honest, I'm really happy this guy makes a lot of money. Don't know him, never seen his videos, but I'm just glad that he makes money. He's very humble and I respect that a lot. This positive sentiment toward Boogie resulted in more views, subscribers, and Patreon members, which strengthened his financial position immediately, whilst also giving him the chance to stream on Twitch, opening up another source of income which kept him financially stable during the adpocalypse.
I will be fine. Losing my YouTube ad revenue will hit us pretty hard, but I've diversified our income.
Things were going so well for Boogie that in August of 2017, he paid for weight loss surgery.
I'm home from surgery, that everything went well. The surgery went way better than I had expected. The doctor did it in a very short period of time.
However, while this would initially improve Boogie's health dramatically,
I'm 110 pounds down since the pre-op diet, and then I've lost 7.5 inches from my waistline.
It would eventually contribute to him going broke in an unexpected way. Boogie explained in a video that for married people, the weight loss surgery tremendously increases the likelihood that you'll end up getting divorced.
The surgery and the recovery from it is really hard on a marriage. 85% of marriages fail after the surgery within the first 2 years.
He added that in the lead up to the surgery, his marriage was already in a rough spot.
Our marriage was far from perfect. One major issue that was persistent throughout the entire marriage, and that was my anxiety disorder.
And as a result of him now being in a healthier condition, his wife suggested that they should divorce.
She told me that she was thinking about separating now that I was out of the surgery and now that I was nice and healthy. We talked about it and decided that she should take a break. 2 weeks into that, she called up and said that she had made her decision, that she wanted things to be a more permanent change, and that we should start moving in that direction.
Boogie explained that his wife was extremely generous in the divorce, having stated that she wanted far less than 50% of the finances.
And she's like, I want enough to where I know I'm going to be taken care of. And I'm like, okay. So she gave me a number, and I'm like, but that's not half.
More
It wasn't half of what we were worth.
It was less.
It was less.
However, as a result of the law, Boogie ended up giving her half of what he had anyway.
She's legally entitled to 50% of everything we own. You make sure it's half, so she has no recourse moving forward.
While Boogie's financial position had taken a pretty substantial hit, his audience was still cheering for him with comments such as, "I hope this is the birth of a new Boogie, a healthy Boogie, no baggage, just a happy, healthy, outgoing outgoing Boogie. However, after his marriage would officially come to an end, the opposite of this happened.
My brain is kind of in a situation where it's just chaos all the time. It's just chaos. This emotional stew in my brain all the time of positive feelings, negative feelings, numbness, frustration, and anger, you know.
Not only had the split resulted in a massive blow to Boogie's mental health, but throughout the process, the storytime rambling videos, which were once uplifting, inspirational, and designed to help his viewers, began to feel like they were being made with the goal of receiving sympathy pity from the audience. Additionally, Boogie's positive can-do attitude, where he wanted to invest his savings into making excellent content for the viewers, had transformed into this complete lack of confidence for the future of his channel.
And I'm not smart enough to be able to figure that stuff out. I'll never be good at titles. I'll never be good at thumbnails. I'm not even that good at video creation.
Leading him to develop an attitude of just wanting to get by as opposed to wanting to grow his audience.
As long as my rent is paid, as long as my mortgage is paid, as long as I can keep the lights on, as long as I can support myself and the people that I currently employ, hey, I'm happy with that.
The final video related to his divorce, in which Boogie explained that he now fully owned his house again, happened to have been uploaded in October 2018, which was the very same month where Boogie began to lose subscribers. The decline will be addressed in a video titled State of the Channel 2019, in which he mentioned that the breakup had a significant impact on the channel's viewership.
2018, as we've talked about, was one of the roughest years of my life, and it really showed here on the channel.
Before going on to state that the storytime pity party videos were also impacting the channel negatively.
I don't just complain and whine and just be miserable. Sharing who and what I am has been counterproductive in quite a bit in the last year or so. Mostly when it comes to the mental issues, the anxiety, the depression, stuff like that.
Boogie would conclude the video by stating that he was very excited about the future.
I'm feeling a lot better, and I'm very engaged and excited about what we will be doing here on the channel.
However, only 3 days after this video was uploaded, a now infamous mega thread would be posted to Reddit, which would go on to significantly impact Boogie's reputation. It was titled The Hidden Truth Boogie Doesn't Want You to Know, and it featured over 5,000 words, showcasing that Boogie wasn't exactly the nice guy he tried to portray. The thread brought up topics such as his behavior on stream, various edgy comments he had made over the years, as well as the way he acted in his marriage, with commenters stating this document is up there with the Constitution and the Magna Carta. However, the thread was posted to a fairly unknown subreddit, and if Boogie had simply ignored the thread, people likely would have forgotten about it, although this isn't what would happen. Boogie instead decided to wage a war against the person who began the mega thread.
I started a war. This guy has been coming at me for 5 years.
Before going on to complain about the criticism in countless different videos.
This subreddit has been actively attacking me and going through everything I've ever said and ever done on the internet for the last 3 years.
Just 2 years prior, in 2017, Boogie was handling criticism much more effectively, even stating that some of the points were valid.
A lot of people have been discussing me over the past couple weeks. I've been on the front page of Reddit, and they tend to discuss me in a very negative light, which is reasonable.
And obviously, Boogie's new 2019 strategy of trying to stop the criticism only led to more criticism. 3 months after the mega thread was posted, Boogie would upload a new video titled Taking a Break, I Give Up, You Guys Win, in which he'd state that he needed a short break as a result of being anxious and nervous. With fewer uploads and a declining reputation, his monthly subscriber count began to fall off a cliff, losing 5,000, 14,000, 28,000, before losing another 42,000 in August 2019, representing a decline of more than 100,000 subscribers in only 4 months. Rather than improving the content, Boogie ramped up the complaints and apologies, which not only led to a decrease in views from an average of 10 million per month to 2 million per month, but it also led to comments from his audience such as, I used to watch every video before. For me, you were like the Mr. Rogers of YouTube. Soft, understanding, and compassionate. Lately, it had just been apologies and complaining. I miss the old content, not because of Francis or gaming or whatever, but because of that person. Despite Boogie's clear decline in his views, subscribers, and income, his spending habits hadn't changed one bit, as midway through this collapse, he'd announced that he was taking on a $100,000 loan to purchase a Tesla.
I ended up buying the X. I still haven't got it fully financed yet. I'm having to finance it, obviously.
Oh my god, I just put myself $100,000 in debt. My car payment's $1,700 a month or something like that. That's more money than I make on Twitch. That's like half of my YouTube revenue this month.
Boogie then made a tweet about how expensive the car was, giving him another opportunity to make himself look like an idiot.
I tweeted out that I was not going to be able to afford this car.
Reddit and Twitter lost their minds. Oh, are you trying to manipulate people into giving you money?
The answer is yes. Give me some money.
free. If you guys want to help me pay for my Tesla, please go ahead and dig deep. I sure would like a free Tesla. Reach down in your pockets and give me $100,000 tonight.
Which becomes even worse after he'd mentioned that he still owed a bunch of money on his house.
My house is worth $300,000. I still owe $200,000 in the house.
And that he knew the Tesla was going to decline in value over time.
But that car is just going to get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper as it goes.
In the year that followed, Boogie's Patreon members almost halved from 120 down to 65, partially as a result of him taking long breaks from creating content.
You'll notice that for the last 3 weeks, I've really not been updated. I have not streamed in 3 weeks.
Which accompanied the transformation of his comment section from a once positive place full of supporters to a wasteland of negativity full of detractors. It's incredible how openly money-oriented this guy is. This guy talks like a minister from some cheesy, scammy late-night ministry where you're supposed to send a $50 check for good luck. Imagine this guy would win the lottery. He'd be broke within 12 months, which would eventually turn out to be somewhat accurate. After his back and forth with Frank Hassel in early 2021, Boogie had to shell out a bunch of money for legal fees.
Let me point out just how expensive all of this was. And obviously, I took money out of my bank account and I paid for it out of pocket. This cost tens of thousands of dollars to fight.
Which also resulted in Boogie producing less content.
I was advised by everyone to live stream less, to make less YouTube videos, to say less things that could be taken out of context and used against me before we had a result, because you know from Reddit and 4chan that that's what they like to do to me. But that cost me a small fortune and lost wages and lost ad revenue as well.
However, thankfully, according to a video titled I Am Finally Rich, How Crypto Made Me Rich, Boogie apparently had no financial problems whatsoever. In the video, he explained that back in 2019, Boogie had taken a massive gamble by purchasing a bunch of cryptocurrency, and by early 2021, he had quadrupled his money.
I basically took every dime I had in liquid funds and invested it in a huge gamble. I invested pretty much everything I had into cryptocurrency. I invested all the way back here, and yeah, that's where we currently are with that market. So to say that I doubled my money is an understatement. In fact, I did more than that.
Boogie then tried to pathetically coax his audience into trying to give him more money.
Never feel pressured to get one of those memberships down below. Never feel pressured to subscribe on Twitch. Never feel pressured to make a donation or interact with one of my sponsors. Never feel pressured to buy a t-shirt.
Before going on to state that he planned on taking the money out of crypto to put it into a safer investment.
And that's if I don't take the money and invest it in something that will make me money, which I am most certainly going to do.
However, as highlighted by almost every comment, the video aged incredibly poorly, because only a year after posting it, Boogie uploaded a new video titled I Need Your Help, in which he explained that he had lost almost all of his money to the crypto market and now required donations from the audience.
Well, this is a video I've dreaded making. You know, I spent a tremendous amount of money on dumb things, but the biggest issue is that I had a nice big nest egg, but I put my money in the crypto market in the wrong section, and I pretty much lost most of everything.
This is the most interesting case study, watching someone who hasn't had to work in over a decade finally have to go back to work. I remember him saying, "Don't worry about me. I'm financially secure to the point that if I stop making videos tomorrow, I can live comfortably for the rest of my life." Just remember that the reason this video was filmed in his garden is because if it was filmed in his office, we'd all be able to see his thousands of dollars worth of arcade machines, magic cards, and gaming memorabilia. While it's almost impossible to find a single positive comment on the entire video, Boogie would receive $1,109 in donations. However, this small figure was certainly at the expense of his dignity and reputation. Boogie hasn't seen a single month of positive subscriber growth since May of 2019, almost 4 years ago, and with no clear desire to change any of his daily habits, it's unlikely that his YouTube channel or financial situation will see any kind of recovery anytime soon.